Hey guys, welcome to the webinar. Very happy to be here with you guys. We're going to give everyone about 30 to 40 seconds to join the room because we'll still have people joining the room. In the meantime, I'd like to run a quick sound check. So if you can hear me, please type yes here in the chat box. And also, I would love to hear where you're from. So if you can type yes and the country where you're listening from, that'll be awesome. Cool. So we got some people from here from Europe, from France, I see, from Brazil, from Washington, U.S. Cool. Welcome everyone. Happy to be here with you guys. All right. So let's start. So today we're going to be talking about user-generated content, which is something that I find that's going to be very important and very interesting for all of you guys here who are e-commerce store owners or work for an e-commerce store and would like to start getting more referrals, more word of mouth happening around your store to get your customers to not only talk more about your brand, but also to generate content that's going to be valuable for you and for your store. So we're going to talk about this. I have a guest here with me that it's an expert in the area. So please, get like a notebook next to your desk because there's a lot of notes to be taken today. And so for those of you who don't know me, my name is Raul. I'm the partner manager here at ReferralCandy. For those of you who don't know ReferralCandy, it's an app that helps e-commerce stores to run customer referral programs. We're available for Shopify, BigCommerce, Magento, WooCommerce, pretty much all the major e-commerce platforms. And even if you have your own customer store set up, we're able to implement a referral program for your store as well. And with me today, here's Yoni Elbas, who's the founder and CEO of Loox. Loox is an app for Shopify stores that allows them to get better and more graphic reviews from their customers. And so he will be here with me today talking about user-generated content. Yoni, it's a pleasure to have you here with me today.
Thank you for having me.
Awesome. So before we start, some quick notes about the webinar. So it will take around 60 minutes, so about an hour, depends on the questions that we get. This session is being recorded right now, and so it will be sent to everyone who registered. If you have any questions, please use the chat box like you did before to tell me where you guys are from. We'll stop actually several times during the webinar to answer the questions, and also at the end we'll have a Q&A session, so feel free to leave your questions here and we'll get them answered. And also, we'll have some giveaways and some promotions ready at the end of the webinar. So if you're interested in maybe setting up a referral program, or if you're interested in maybe getting more and better reviews from your customers, you'll be able to get some offers from ReferralCandy and from Loox. So yeah, if you're still in the end, we'll tell you more information about this. So these are the areas, this is the topics that we'll be talking about today. So first of all, it's why you should encourage UGC, so user-generated content. I'll be talking about why it's important, why you should let people know what your products really look like, and I put some emphasis on really what your products really look like, and then how to use UGC to boost referrals. And then Yoni will be telling you guys about what are high-quality reviews, why quality reviews drive more sales. We'll give some tips and some strategies that you can follow, and then we'll be talking about how to collect these quality reviews. All right, so like I said, we're going to be talking about why you should encourage UGC. And first of all, let's start with why is it so important. And there's something that I always like to mention, not only about UGC, but about referral marketing, about word-of-mouth marketing. It's the fact that the best salespeople at your company are your customers. And now, I feel like this is something that happens not only on e-commerce, but it happens on pretty much any industry out there, is the fact that, first of all, your customers believe in what you're selling and your value proposition, and first of all because they bought it because they were able to they were actually putting money into whatever you're selling, whatever product, whatever service you're selling. They believe it so much that they were able to they believe that it's useful, so they put money in it. And so these are actually some numbers I always like to share about referral marketing, about and about recommendations from customers. The fact that customers rely on word of mouth up to 10 times more than on traditional media. And actually, word of mouth or recommendations or referrals is a primary factor behind up to 50% of all purchasing decisions. So I want you guys to think about the last time that you asked for a recommendation for, let's say, a new restaurant to go to for dinner, a new city to visit. I want you to think about that, and how many decisions have you taken, let's say in the past month, that were driven by a recommendation from a friend or family. And so these are some of the reasons of why I think that the best salespeople are your company, are your customers. This is another way of saying that why your customers are great ambassadors of your brand, and why you should get your customers to talk more about your brand. Not only talk, but to produce content that you can use to show people, to show potential customers, hey, these customers believe in what we do, and this is why you should believe too. And like I said before, they know your value proposition like no one else does, because they bought it, because they invested money in it. And so they know why other people should buy from you as well. Also, like I mentioned before, is the fact that people love giving recommendations. And most of the time, they actually do it just for the sake of being nice and just for the sake of doing a favor to a person that they love. So for their family, for their friends. And if your company understands this, if your company understands the fact that most people give recommendations, and most people will probably recommend your store not only because maybe they're getting some sort of commission in exchange, but because they're doing something nice for someone else, you will do something like what this company does. So this is actually one of our customers here at ReferralCandy, and this is, if you've been to one of my webinars, you've probably seen this example before. This is Loox. It's a company that sells audio samples and royalty-free music for audio engineers or for music producers, and basically for all people that that actually they make a living by producing music. And so they run a referral program with us, which it was basically you get your friends 90% discount on their subscription, and for every referral that you bring, you get $20 in cash. Now, getting $20 for a referral, getting a $20 commission for just having your friends joining a store or buying a subscription, it's okay. I mean, it can probably buy you dinner. It's a nice reward to get, but think about it. You're giving your friends a 90% discount. Now, if you know an audio engineer or a music producer and that somehow doesn't know about audio blocks, and you tell them, hey, actually, if you want to get a subscription on audio blocks, I can get you a 90% discount. Most people will do it. And actually, what we saw with this company is that most people did it just for the sake of being nice, just because they found something special. They found something interesting and something that their friends will love them for. And so, yeah, of course, getting $20 is nice, but the fact that you're giving someone a 90% discount on something that it could be useful for them, it's a great feeling. And they actually feel like they're a hero to their friends. And so that's something very important that you need to understand when we talk about how people give recommendations, and especially how your customers are going to recommend your store to their friends. Most of the time, they're going to do it because they think it's useful for someone else. And that's actually something that we're going to see in the second part of the webinar, when Yoni tells us more about reviews, how people write their reviews with the whole intention of being useful for other people. And we'll see more about that later. But another reason of why I think that the best salespeople are your company, are your customers, is because people love talking about things they know. I'll go back to the example of when was the last time that you asked for a recommendation for a restaurant, or a recommendation for another city or another country to visit. Think about if you put it on Facebook, if you put it on a group chat, how many people you got telling you, hey, actually you should go to this place, or actually I recommend you to go to this restaurant because they have this and that. People love giving recommendation. People love also feeling that they're experts in something. So the fact that they're giving you a recommendation gives them some sort of status of, hey, I went through this. This is my experience, and this is why you should trust my experience. You should trust my knowledge to do what I'm recommending you to do. And most importantly, and this is why I also believe that referral marketing, word of mouth marketing, UGC, it's very important. It's the fact that their audience finds these people trustworthy. So because they're family and they're friends. Now, I want to believe that most people will not betray a friend or a family member just to get a $20 commission on a product, but they will actually do it because they believe that what they're recommending to their friends is actually valuable and it's actually going to be something that it's interesting for them. And so, therefore, because their audience finds them actually trustworthy and their audience believes that what they're recommending to them is actually valuable, they don't sound too salesy. They don't sound like they are trying to get advantage of anyone because they're doing it out of, just for the sake of being nice. The second reason why I believe that you should encourage UGC, user-generated content in your stories, because you should let people know what your products really look like. And I put an emphasis on really. And I've talked to a lot of e-commerce store owners. I've talked to a lot of people that are working in the e-commerce industry, and it's I mean, we pretty much all agree that one of the main barriers that e-commerce has always faced, and there's really no, I don't know, we don't really see in the future that this is going to change, and that's okay. But one of the main problems that e-commerce has nowadays, the fact that you can't touch the physical product until you receive it. So that's the main dilemma, or the main difference, I would say, between e-commerce and physical retail is the fact that if you go to a physical store, you can go and touch the product and see how it feels, and then maybe buy it or not. But on e-commerce, you buy it and then you touch it, and then you're able to actually feel how it looks like. So unless virtual reality changes a lot over the next few years, I don't think this is going to change. But that's why I think that user-generated content, it's the e-commerce equivalent of touching the product at a physical store. And okay, I understand that everyone who's in this room with me today, all of you who are e-commerce store owners, have your store, and I'm pretty sure that you have very professional pictures on your store, product pictures that are perfectly taken with professional lighting, professional cameras, everything. I'm assuming that that's the case, and I hope actually that that's the case. But the fact that your customers are, let's say, taking pictures of your product on a real environment outside of a professional photo set, it could be an equivalent of touching the product physically, or at least you get to see it in the real environment. This is something that a lot of companies understand and a lot of companies are doing right now, is that they are encouraging their customers to take pictures or to engage with their products beyond the purchase and to let other people know how the products look like on a real environment. So this is Dapper Times, one of our customers, and they sell watches, as you can see. And on their homepage, they have this section where not only they feature how many Instagram followers they have, but they also feature some of the best pictures that these Instagram followers have taken. Now, some of these people might be influencers, which is something that we'll cover in a little bit, but some of them are also customers. So it's very interesting for potential customers to see how these watches look like in real life beyond that photo that they have on the product page that it's obviously taken by a professional. It's interesting to see in a real environment. They can also imagine how it looks like in their wrist. They can see things that they probably didn't get to see in the product page. So this is something that you should definitely encourage. And when you're thinking about the marketing strategy you should follow for your store, obviously there's not really a dilemma, but there's a big difference between content marketing and user-generated content. And when you're thinking about, okay, what strategy should I follow, the question should not be, should I invest in content marketing or should I invest in user-generated content? I mean, the answer is both. But user-generated content has several perks that content marketing does not have. And this is one of the things that we're gonna explain with this example that actually I have to thank Yoni for sending me this example. This is actually one of their customers, and I personally believe that I've received I received a hammock for my birthday last year, and I'm pretty sure that it's from this same store. So it's a coincidence, but this is something that we're gonna use as an example to explain the difference between content marketing and user-generated content, and how user-generated content it's way more cost effective and it's more trustworthy, let's say, than content marketing. Now, take a look at these two pictures. Actually, I'm going to give 30 seconds to all you to take a look at these two pictures. I hope that you can read the text. I hope that that your screen allows you to read both of the texts. And I'll give you 30 seconds to tell me, if you were the customer, if you didn't know this store at all, which one of these two sides of the screen will you trust, or what do you think will drive you to make a purchase? I'm gonna take a quick sip of water, and let's talk about this when I get back. All right, so most of you said on the right side, the review, because it's a review. Okay, but let's go over some of the details of these two sides, both the content marketing side, which is the product picture and the product description, and the review that we have on the right side. Now, the left side, it's a professionally taken picture, perfect lighting, perfect setup. The products are in order, they're perfectly folded. You have the hooks, you have the strings, you have the bag, everything. You have the copy, which explains that the hammock is super lightweight. It's easy to set up. It tells you where you can use it. Tells you that it's comfortable. They can support up to 500 pounds. And these are the features, and this is the value proposition that the e-commerce store owner thinks that this hammock has. Now on the right side, we have a picture that, if you compare it to the other one, it's obviously way worse. I mean, it's probably not taken with an iPhone. It's a little blurry. You don't really get to see the hammock that much. I don't know. I don't really get to see it in action. I know it's hanging between two palm trees, I'm assuming, but you don't get to see it as much as you do on the left side. But I get to see it in real life. I get to see them in action. I get to see that they can hang it from a palm tree, so which makes me think that you can probably put them anywhere. I know it's written by Jesse. Seems to be verified, so I understand that it's an actual customer, so it's someone that actually bought the hammock, so it means that it's a real review. And look at what Jesse is saying about the hammock. It's saying that, well, first of all, they're recommending the hammocks to friends. They've already gotten 2 friends to buy these hammocks, and he's on his way of getting more. So Jesse's, first of all, it's a very loyal customer. But he also says that it's so comfortable and durable. There's great customer service, fast shipping, and the owners are hilarious. Now I'm going to stop here real quick. He's mentioning 3 things that the product description did not mention, and Jesse on the other side thinks that it's the actual value proposition of the hammocks. The fact that there's great customer service, beyond the fact that it's comfortable and durable, there's great customer service, there's fast shipping, and the owners are hilarious. Okay, that might you might think that sounds stupid, but it's actually very important. If I'm a customer and a potential customer, let's say, and I'm reading this description and I see that the owners are hilarious, okay, I understand that the owners are very nice people, so I know that if there's any sort of problem with my order, with my shipping, anything, I can reach out to them and they'll be able to help me. So this copy that it's obviously not as perfectly written as the one on the left, and this picture that it doesn't look as professional on the one on the left, it actually helps me make a decision better because I get to see in real life, and it's also validated by someone that I believe has nothing to gain from giving a review to the store. This person, Jesse, it's probably doing it for the sake of being nice and for the sake of, hey, I like this product so much that I'll be happy if you get more business through me. I'll be happy to tell people I know and to let everyone know that I'm happy with my purchase. And this is why I personally believe that UGC, so user-generated content, it's 30%. Actually, this is not something that I believe. This is actually something that that I recommend you guys to read. It's from a report from CrowdTap and Ipsos. There's the link here. If anyone is interested in reading this, you can write me an email, or you can put it here in the chat box. I'll put the full link. But this report says that UGC is 30%, 35% more memorable than any other media, which is something that we covered before. It's 50% more trusted, and it's 20% more influential. Now, trust and influence is something that we're going to cover right now, because I think there's an interesting mix between these two, trust and how people can influence others to make purchases. And I would like to end my part of the webinar by talking about not only how you can use user-generated content to get referrals, which is the last part of my section of the webinar, but also how you can leverage the power of influencers and the power of user-generated content related to influencers to get more sales. So influencers is something that has come up, I would say, in the last few years, when they become really famous on social media, especially on Instagram. There's a lot of influencers on different areas, from bodybuilding, from the health, nutrition, whatever you want. There's always an influencer around. For fashion, actually, this is an example of fashion. And these people can really leverage their power and their influence they have over their following base, and they can use that to promote your products. And the main difference between these influencers and, let's say, a celebrity is the fact that a celebrity, it's famous for something else. It's because they're actors, they're sports stars, whatever the reason is. So they can endorse pretty much any product, and at the end of the day, it's not going to compromise their careers, because if someone is a sports star, the fact that they're promoting a product that it's not that good, it's not going to compromise their sports career. But these people, on the other hand, they're obviously not as famous as celebrities, but they've built their fame and they've built their following base through trust, and because people believe that they're experts in something, and because people believe that they deserve credibility. So they've built this trust, they've built this credibility by being experts in one specific field, and they are able to produce high quality content. So for example, here on Instagram, they're able to produce this high quality content, and they're able to endorse a product without having most of their following base think, okay, these people are probably getting paid to do this. They probably, they know that they're getting paid to promote a product, but they know that they also wouldn't do it if this is something that could potentially hurt their credibility or their trust. So they know that if they're promoting, in this case, for example, Blenders Eyewear, which is a sunglasses company from San Diego, California, they know that if they are promoting this product, it's because they must believe in it. There might be some sort of financial incentive behind it, but they are actually believing in it. So for me, as someone who's, let's say, following one of these influencers, it could be a trigger for me to make a purchase. And this is actually a great example that I wanted to mention. Blenders Eyewear, we talked to them a few months ago, and they were telling us how they used influencers from the very beginning to build their customer base. And I'll give you actually 4 steps on how to start working with influencers, and why I personally think that influencers are important in terms of UGC. It's because they create very high quality content, and also influencers. There's lots of influencers, different sizes. There's even someone with, like, let's say 1,000 followers on Instagram could be an influencer, and we'll go into this in the last part of my first half of the webinar, which is how to use UGC to boost referrals. This is another eyewear company that's actually from Spain, and they started off in small town Spain, just 4 young kids that started selling sunglasses online, and made it their way to right now, who are the official sponsors of the LA Lakers, which is pretty cool for a company that started just a few years ago. And I actually recommend you guys, if you can read anything about Hawkers, I left the website here if you guys want to take a look. If you can read anything about Hawkers online, I recommend you because it's very interesting. Their strategy that they use, especially in the early days, to get traction. But they relied a lot on influencers. And one of the things that they did at the beginning was to target people on Facebook that had a lot of activity around them. So they had a lot of people following them. They had a lot of people engaging with their posts, even if they were family and friends, but they were popular, let's say, amongst their peers. And so they started targeting them, and this is something that they've done from the very beginning. They started giving them just free sunglasses so they could take pictures of them. They will give them even more free sunglasses so they could do, let's say, like giveaways or give it to their family or friends, just basically spreading the word about Hawkers. And now on their website, this is actually a screenshot of their website. And if you click on any of those pictures that we have there, it takes you to this page, which is kind of like a mix between a product page and an Instagram page. And actually, you can go to the original Instagram page. And in this case, we see this influencers who, by the way, when I was doing research for the webinar, I realized that this influencer in particular has only about 1,000 followers. So you don't have to be, again, you don't have to go after the big time influencers to get your product out there. But as you can see, she is promoting the product to her following base, and she has a personal discount code that the followers can use to get a discount on Hawkers. And so if I'm going to give recommendations on how to work with influencers and how to boost the power of these influencers and user-generated content to get referrals, I'm going to tell you guys what Blenders Eyewear actually told us when we talked to them. It's that, first of all, you should carefully select your first influencers. Again, you should not go after a big fish. You should go after someone who you can approach. And I understand that most brands, when they are starting, they might not have cash to spend on someone to promote them, like an influencer. That's actually something that Blenders didn't do. They reach out to these people and say, hey, look, we will love to give you free sunglasses so you can take pictures of you with them. And the only thing is that we can't pay you in cash, so we'll just pay you in merchandising. So we'll just give you free sunglasses. And most people actually were okay with that. And so you need to carefully select your first influencers and also make sure that you get people that trust your brand. You don't need to also go after influencers. You can actually go after your own customer base and maybe identify people that you think could be a good fit for an influencer program or for a referral program. So people that have a lot of other people following them on social media, that have some sort of reputation online, you can reach out to them and say, hey, we've seen that you've done quite a few purchases on our site. If you like our product, we would love to talk about some sort of endorsement. And from there, start a conversation with them, but keep it personal. And again, try to talk to people that are not only happy with being somehow a sponsor, but also someone that believes in your product, someone that believes in your project. That's something that Blenders Eyewear told us as well, is the fact that they went after people that they could reach out directly because they were also from San Diego. So they reached out initially to influencers in San Diego that could meet up for a coffee, or they could come to the office to get the sunglasses. So they want to start a conversation with them, keep it personal, and keep it close, so they will basically become part of the project. Of course, once you have either customers talking about your brand and talking about your store and generating content about your store, reward them. Give them something in exchange. They're bringing you business, so give them a piece of that business. And obviously, my recommendation here is that you reward the new customers as well. And so give them some sort of referral discount that their friends and family or followers can use to trigger that first purchase in your store. And of course, remind them constantly about your referral program or about your affiliate program. Make these people think about you pretty much all the time. Make your customers understand that there's a possibility of being part of the project, of being part of your store, and remind them that they can benefit whatever reward you want to give to both the advocate and the new customer. Let them know, remind them that this is something that exists and that they can benefit from. So we've made it to the first half of the webinar. And so there's a quick summary about what we have discussed. First of all, look at your customers, not only like customers, but also like the best salespeople that you have and you could possibly hire, and also help them sell, okay? Also, we have talked about the difference between user-generated content and content marketing, and how obviously you should strive for both of them. You should have a marketing strategy that includes UGC and content marketing, but we've covered some of the main ideas of why UGC it's more cost effective and it's more trustworthy to your potential customers. And then the last thing we've talked about is the fact that if you implement some sort of referral or affiliate program or some sort of incentive, you don't have to actually have a referral program on your store. But if you have some sort of incentive for these customers that are already talking about your store and they're taking their time to produce content that could be useful for your store and that could trigger sales from their following base, give them some sort of reward. Let them know that you're happy that they are taking the time to talk about your products and your brand. And so, yeah, let them know that there's some sort of incentive behind it. All right, so if you have any questions, please put it here in the chat box. We're about to go with Yoni, who's actually, I'm gonna go back to one of the first slides to cover the main things that Yoni will be talking about today. Yoni will be telling you guys about what are high quality reviews, why quality reviews drive more sales, and also how you can collect these high quality reviews. So again, I recommend to take notes because he's going to give you a lot of different tactics and strategies that you can apply to your store right away. And so, Yoni, I'm going to let you start.
Thanks, Raul. Okay. So hi, everyone. My name is Yoni Elbaz. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Loox. In case you don't know Loox, Loox is a reviews app that helps merchants, just like you, collect photo reviews and use them to increase sales on your store, traffic, conversion, and retention. Today we're working with over 5,000 stores with Shopify, and today I'd like to share with you some of our experience, some stats, and some tips, and discuss why focusing on high-quality reviews will have a big impact on your bottom line. So, like Raul just said, let's just go over this, see what we're going to cover in this part of the presentation. So we'll start with what are quality reviews. I'm sure most of you already collect reviews or testimonials for your product, but not all reviews were created equal. So we'll discuss what makes one review better than another. And we'll see why high quality reviews drive more traffic to your store and improve conversion more significantly. And finally, I'll give you some practical tips on what you can actively do to generate high quality reviews on your store. Okay, so let's start with defining high quality reviews. What makes one review stand out more than another? Let's consider the following two examples. These are two reviews for the same product and both have 5 stars. Take a second and just look at them. Which one would you trust more? Think of it this way. If you were considering buying this product, which review would you consider more helpful in your decision-making process? So the answer, of course, is the one on the left. And you think this might be an extreme example, but you probably, just like me, you see so many online stores still, when you go to their product pages, you see 100 reviews which are all 5 stars, and they read, like, love it, great, amazing, just like, 1 or 2 words. And this still happens so often. And I guess you'll agree with me that when that happens, it looks fake, probably harms your conversion more than it improves it. And what you really want to do, you want to have more of the reviews of the one on the left. So let's analyze what makes the review on the left better than the one on the right. So this is a review for a baby bed. You can see that. And let's look at its different components. So first, you can see there are a few small indicators that really have a big impact. Showing a real customer name, showing the review date, and the verified purchase badge when relevant. they create a subconscious feeling of credibility. People see this, and it signals to them that this is a recent review written by a real person that actually bought this item. Now, second, like you can see, this review contains a lot of text. It has a detailed description not only of the product features, but also the experience of using the product and the different benefits of using it. A high quality review needs to answer all the questions that your visitors may have when they're considering buying the product. It needs to reduce their concerns and to get them excited about buying the product. So in this case, if you look closely in the middle, you see there's a part in caps, which describes how much the baby sleeps when they're using this baby bed. So if you're a sleep-deprived parent, this part is really going to resonate with you and significantly increase the chances that you're going to want to buy this product. And the reason is it specifically talks about a pain that you have. It's not just a generic recommendation, and this is what you want to aspire to have in your high-quality reviews. And the third thing is a photo. Raul touched upon this in his part of the presentation, but it's really, really important. So this is a photo uploaded by the customer, by Celeste, showing the product being used. Customer photos let you really show an authentic view of the product in action, used by real people in a wide range of uses. And because we humans, we are visual creatures, it means we analyze visual data much faster than we read. So your visitors, they have, you know this, very little patience and a very short attention span. So when they arrive to a product page and they see customer photos, they will immediately get the feeling that other real people bought this product and they're happy about it. So this is, and this will build the trust that they need to move forward in their buyer journey. So let's just quickly recap. High quality reviews are three things. They're credible, they're detailed, and they're visuals. Now, let's see why high quality reviews drive more sales than low quality reviews. Let's start with conversion. Okay, so from our data in Loox that was collected from 5,000 stores and 100,000 product pages, we know that showing customer photos with reviews will increase conversion by an average of 26%. I can also tell you that for certain categories, like swimwear, for example, we see an increase of 91% in conversion when showing customer photos. And this is exactly the same point that Raul made earlier, and it's interesting because I completely agree with what Raul just said. You know, you put so much effort and money into driving traffic to your store, and in most cases you will have a low conversion rate. And so why is that? Why does e-commerce have such a low conversion rate? So getting into the mind of your visitors for a second. They're most likely not familiar with your brand. This is the case with most Shopify stores. And they check out your products physically. Like Rose said, they can't try them, they can't touch them. So they have concerns. They're asking themselves questions like, is this product really as good as it's advertised? Will it fit me? Will it suit my needs? And your job is to remove these concerns as fast as possible. Customers will trust user-generated photos 12 times more than a professional photo with a model or with a white background. And like Rose said exactly, they are the closest thing to touching the product when you're shopping online. So here you can see a few examples of products from stores that use Loox. You can see a baby bed on the left, a hammock in the middle, same hammock that Raul referenced, and a dress on the right where you can see different women wearing it from different shapes, different sizes, and again you can see different places where you can use the hammock, and you can see lots of sleeping babies, which is great if you're a parent and you need these sleeping hours. Okay, so we spoke about conversion, and you know now why photo reviews is going to really significantly improve them. But how will quality reviews drive more traffic to your store? So the answer is simple. It's SEO and it's social media. Let's start with SEO. We all know traffic from search engines is super competitive, and you really need good content to stand out. So if you collect high quality detailed reviews, you're going to have an advantage over your competition and you're going to rank higher. And the reason is Google loves fresh, unique, and relevant content. If you have detailed reviews like the ones that you're seeing now on the screen coming in frequently, Google is going to love you. Think about it. These reviews are your customers describing your product in their own words. They're describing the experience of using the product, the features, the benefits, where they use it, and so on. And they're using the exact same language that your future potential customers are going to use when they search for what they need. So you might not even know how customers want to describe your product or how they think about your product. And this is the power of user-generated content. So you really, really want to make sure that your customers write a lot. Now let's talk about sharing to social media. You definitely want to share your reviews to social media. These are people saying how great your product is, and you want to get the word out there. So now let's see how high quality reviews that contain photos will help you get more engagement and more traffic from social. So we'll start with a few stats. Tweets with images get 150% more retweets than those without. Facebook posts with images will see 2.3 times more engagement than those without. And Shopify customers referred by Pinterest, which is a visual-only social network, will spend on average double of what a Facebook referral would. So you really want to make sure that you have great visual content to share with your fans. So I know it's hard to come up, everyone knows that merchants have a hard time coming up with more creative, which is new and it's engaging, that they can share on social media. And this is exactly the same thing that Raul mentioned earlier about UGC versus content marketing. When you collect photo reviews for your customers, then they keep providing you with new and engaging content that you can post and inspire your followers, and you will get more likes and clicks out of each one of these posts if you use user-generated content. The second great thing about photo reviews and social media is that when a customer adds their photo to a review, they're 3 times more likely to share it on social media. Think about it. They've invested time in writing a review and uploading their photo, and they already have a great post. So they're more often than not happy to pin it to Pinterest, tweet it, or share it just to their favorite social network. So here are a few examples of a tweet and a pin shared by customers. And if you take a close look on the review shared on the right, you'll see it got 53,000 repins on Pinterest, which is pretty incredible. So I hope I managed to convince you so far why high quality reviews are important and why they're going to help you drive more traffic and more conversion than just low quality reviews. So now let's talk about what you can do to collect high quality reviews. So the first and most important thing is to actively ask your customers to review their purchase. It sounds trivial, but not everyone does it. And you can ask them through email, you can text them, you can use social media. If you have a physical store, you can ask them in person, you can put a slip in each package. Whatever makes most sense for your business. Don't expect anyone to just drop by, at your store, come to the right product page and leave a review. People are busy, and you need to actively reach out, get their attention, and ask for their time to do this. So from our experience, this is the second point, it's really important to know when to ask them for a review. You definitely don't want to send an email too soon because they might have not received the item yet, or they haven't had the chance to use it, or take a photo of it. And you don't want to ask them too late because they might have already forgotten about it, or just simply not as excited as they were when they initially got it or used it. So from our experience, the best timing is usually within a week from delivery, but this can change depending on the product that you sell. For example, if you sell outdoor gear, then this time frame might be longer. You might want to ask after 3 or 4 weeks because use it right away. But if you sell jewelry, then yeah, you probably want to ask a few days after your customer receives the package because it's something that they're going to probably immediately put on, try on, use, and take a photo. And the last thing, make it really easy to review your products. Don't ask your customers to go to your site, to search for something, to scroll down, to click a button. Make it dead simple, and you will convert a lot more. Another tip, and we spoke about this, it's important that you get them to write a lot of content and relevant content. People will react to what you tell them. If you want your customers to write about anything specific, ask leading questions. Tell them what you'd like them to include in the review. In this example here, you can see that Dokatot, which is a Loox customer, is leading their customers to talk about sleep. It's not comfort, it's not safety, it's not delivery time, it's not price. They want to hear about sleep. And as a result, as you can see on the right, almost every single review on their site mentions the impact on the baby's sleep. So if you want your customers to talk about fit or quality or design or anything else that would emphasize the benefits of using your products, your value proposition, be explicit about it, and you'll see that they will follow. And the last tip for creating high quality reviews, incentivize photo reviews. People are, as you know, people are used to sharing their photos a lot. They do it, in chat, they do it in social networks. So they really only need a small nudge to contribute their photo to you. Offer them a discount for their next purchase, and you can expect between 20 to 30% of your reviews to include a photo. So that's an incredible number, which I bet most of you probably wouldn't think is true. But from our experience, if you offer a discount which is 15% or more for next purchase, you can expect more than 20% of your reviews to include a photo, and that's a lot. That's basically all you need to get the impact that you're looking for. So a small incentive will go a really long way in this case. And as a bonus, by giving these customers a discount, and remember, these are your happy customers. If they went the length to upload a photo, there's a very strong correlation to happy customers. So when you give them a discount, you get to keep them as a returning customer, which is great. So, okay, so let's just summarize. 1, not all reviews were created equal. You want to make sure that you create credible, detailed, and visual reviews. Second, the way you collect reviews will impact their quality. So you want to actively request reviews, you want to ask leading questions, and to offer discounts for photos. And finally, once you collect high quality reviews, you want to showcase them in a prominent location on your product page to increase conversion. You want to integrate their data into search results, and you want to share them on social media. You can do all of this on your own. You really don't have to have an app to be able to execute all of these things today. If you do want to automate the process, you're welcome to check out Loox and see if it's a good fit for your store. That's it. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you learned something new. Raul, back to you.
Thank you. No, thank you, Yoni. That was very actionable, especially all the tips that you gave at the end. Actually, I'm actually very surprised about the ratio that you gave at the end, about the fact that up to 30 people, up to 30% of your customers can, are potentially going to leave a review with a picture. That seems like a lot, actually. That's great. That's a great number.
Yeah, and we were surprised as well. Yeah, there is a correlation to how much discount you offer, but once you offer, more than 15%, you're going to see high numbers of photo reviews. And most customers are really surprised. If you read the reviews about Loox, you'll see people just mentioned, I never believed, that many people will add their photo to a review. So it's definitely a surprise. It's not intuitive. We didn't expect it when we started working on the app, but it works and it's great.
Yeah, that's a nice surprise to have. We actually have a question. I think this is for you actually. So it was related to what industries. Oh, by the way, guys, this is a great moment for you guys to share your questions with us or comments. We'll be talking about this for a few minutes. Yeah, this is a question for you, Yoni. What industries or products are the best for image reviews? I'm assuming that not all industries, not all products are the same for this type of reviews, but based on your experience, what would you say are the best? And I will add something to this question is any surprising industry or any surprising product that you maybe at the beginning thought that no one will post an image review, but they did?
Okay, great question. When we started Loox 2 years ago, we only started with fashion stores. So we were called Fashion Reviews, and we were completely focused on fashion because we thought that fashion would be the vertical that would benefit the most, because when you see apparel online, and you usually see it either on a white background or on the body of a model, which is usually taller and thinner than the average person. So it's not really helpful, and we thought that all the photos will really help people understand how clothes look on different body types. But then we started seeing on Facebook that many merchants were kind of saying, oh, you can use Loox even if you're not selling fashion. You just need to turn off this and this and this feature. And eventually we realized people from basically every category were using Loox. So maybe the exceptions are digital products. One product that surprised me, we have a company that sells supplements, like pills, and they just get lots of photos of people holding the pill box, which I'm not sure how much it really contributes, to making the product feel relatable, but it definitely adds this personal aspect of, okay, I can see there are real customers. I see there's real photos, there's selfies, and so it builds credibility, but it's not exactly, helpful to see that product in action. But yeah.
That's true. Yeah, I know that's what I was going to say. It builds credibility. It builds trust to a store. The fact that, well, I don't know, let's say I land in that store and I see all these pictures, and at least the first thing I'm going to think is that, okay, well, it works. It exists. It's a real store. They have real customers. These real customers are willing to take pictures of themselves with the product. So yeah, no, I mean, I feel like we had the same situation here at ReferralCandy. The fact that we have customers from pretty much any industry running referral programs. One of the, in my opinion, one of the most interesting ones is the mattress industry. So, for example, usually when a company joins ReferralCandy to run a referral program, it's usually, let's say, companies that most of them, not all of them, but most of them are both promoting new purchases because they're giving a discount to new customers, but they're also rewarding existing customers, not by giving them cash, but by giving them a discount on the next purchase. So in that way, it's actually great because you get a new customer and you are retaining your current customers because next time they're probably going to go back to your store and buy it because they got some sort of discount. But we saw an interesting example. It's a company that sells mattresses online. And of course, mattresses is something that you don't buy every week or every year. Probably you buy a mattress and hopefully you don't have to buy another one in, let's say, 10 years. And so obviously the first thing they realized is that they couldn't give discounts to existing customers for successful referrals because, well, everyone will forget, in 10 years, who knows, might not even use email in 10 years. So that's what they did instead is that they were given cash rewards to their customers. So they were, for each successful referral, they were given, I think it was like $100 on discounts for the new customer and $100 discount to the existing one. So it's interesting. What's like you said, like you guys initially were focused on fashion, and then you realized that people were saying, look, actually, if you deactivate these two features, you can use it for pretty much any stores, which kind of goes back to what we were talking about at the beginning, how your customers see a value proposition that sometimes, well, your salespeople might not see at the beginning. No?
Exactly. Yep.
And we actually have a question about Loox. It's available for BigCommerce. They're asking me.
It's not currently available for BigCommerce. We're currently available only on Shopify, but we are planning on expanding to additional platforms, and we'll definitely announce once that happens.
Cool, cool. So they can probably sign up on your website to stay in touch, right, when this happens?
For sure.
Cool. And then we also have another question. By the way, guys, we have about 4 minutes, and I'm going to take this opportunity to tell you about the giveaways that we have available today. So if you're thinking about launching a referral program for your store, you can try ReferralCandy for 60 days instead of the 30-day free trial that we always offer. So if you're interested in this, feel free to email me. Here's my email address. If you can't see if you can't see the email address on your screen, let me know. I'll put it in the chat box. But just feel free to send me an email and say, hey, I'm interested in the extended trial, and we'll talk about it. I'll give you more details on how you can get this promotion. And then on the other side, Loox is also offering an extended trial of 30 days instead of 14. So I'm actually going to copy this link so I can put it on the chat box so you guys can benefit from this offer. Actually, I will appreciate if you guys could say yes or okay if you are able to both see my email and see the link in the chat box, just to make sure that it works. In the meantime, we have another question, and this is actually also for you, Yoni. So I guess they want to know what's the best way of asking for a review. So I'm assuming that the question is whether you have to give something in exchange, or if you have to kind of like ask for, okay, like, you got the product, we'll be really thankful if you could write a review. Which tone usually works best?
Yeah, so what we do at Loox, we automate the process of emailing your customers at an optimized time after purchase. So you can control it, you can send it X days after fulfillment or X days after purchase, right. And we will optimize the exact sending time according to the customer's local time zone. We also let merchants send a reminder email 7 days later in case the first email didn't convert, and actually the second email helps getting 30% more reviews. So sending an email definitely works great. The industry standard is around 10%, and you can get a percentage. You can't really move the needle that much, but when you offer an incentive to collect a review, then you can find yourself, having 13 or 14% review rate, which would be considered high. So yeah, right. You just have to take into consideration it's going to be very rare to find more than 15% review rate with customers, because that's just, from our experience with millions of emails that we've sent, it's very hard to escape this number.
Right. I mean, I guess that's related to pretty much any email marketing campaign, right? I mean, those numbers are kind of hard to beat.
Yeah. Yeah.
And have you seen? This is actually a personal question that I have. So, have you guys seen what are some of the so you mentioned that obviously the most preferred channel for this is email, but have you guys seen maybe, I don't know, some interesting case study of a customer that was using a different channel for asking for reviews, and maybe using a different conversation channel for their customers? I'm assuming that, I guess, depends on the demographics of what's the company, the store customer base. They'll probably use different, let's say, social media over email, but have you seen anything interesting in this area?
So we have some customers which add a small note inside all of the packages that they send, and that note contains a short link to which the customer can review, and I think that works well for them, and I think that's very smart, because you talking about perfect timing, unboxing, very exciting time, and assuming the product is good and that the customer is satisfied, then that you're really hitting, the nail on its head, and you're asking them, why don't you come in and write a review? And you also have small incentives, so people are already in full attention to your product, and it works really well. We are looking into adding text. We know that Shopify is planning on adding checkout with phone number only.
Yep.
And yeah, future checkouts won't necessarily have emails. So we're also looking into adding text, but we haven't experimented with that yet. So I'm not quite sure what the what the conversion rate will be. So it's going to be interesting to find out.
Right. No, and I also like something that you mentioned at the end. I feel like actually both ReferralCandy and Loox, are pretty much going after something similar, which is basically getting your customers to talk more about your brand in different ways. But I feel like they're both kind of related in that sense, and they could possibly work together. Actually, I've seen that some of the customers that you share on your presentation are actually our customers as well. So they both understand the power of using their customer base and using the best salespeople that they have, which are their customers, to get new customers. And I like something that you mentioned at the end of the webinar, which is when it's the best time to send an email asking for either a referral in our case or asking for a review. And that's something that I've actually covered this in other webinars, and it's the fact that most companies or most e-commerce stores understand that the sooner the better. And you were talking about the short attention span that most people have, including myself. But the thing is that some companies understand that, okay, this customer just finished the checkout, it's waiting for its product, so it's in their head that we're in their minds right now. They're thinking about the purchase that they made. It's the perfect timing to send them an email and get them to talk about our brand. And we personally think that that's wrong, because again, the customers didn't have time to check the product, to physically touch it and use it, so they're not in a position to send out either obviously a review, because they haven't gotten it yet. They don't know anything about the product. They don't know if they like it or not. And also for referrals, they sometimes think that just because there is a financial incentive behind it, hey, talk to your friends about our brand and we'll give you $20. Sometimes e-commerce stores think that because there's that financial incentive behind it, customers are going to go right away on social media and start sharing their referral links. But we've realized that the sooner the better. That's actually not the case in these situations, and you have to wait for the customer to believe in your product, because otherwise it would not make sense. It wouldn't be a trustworthy, let's say, referral or recommendation. What are your thoughts here?
So could you just repeat what the actual question was?
Oh.
Do you want to incentivize?
Yes.
No, I think I got it. So the question is about the financial
incentive. I went on a rant on. Sorry, I got a little too on there about that. But yeah, no. My question here was, yeah, exactly, like how do you do incentive? What do you think is the best way to incentivize a review, or in our case, will be a referral after a purchase?
Yeah, so first of all, this is a proof that my attention span is just as short as
just as short as mine.
So I think that offering a discount for next purchase is smart, because it only means, if that person, we don't offer the ability to offer cash. We only offer, the ability to offer a next purchase discount, which means that discount means nothing to you if you're not going to purchase again at that store, which means, that means if that person is taking that discount, he's satisfied and he's going to return. And that means you're not going to get, if you're going to offer cash, then they might just do it for cash, even if they don't, they're not invested emotionally in whatever you're asking them to, a review or a referral. From my experience with Loox, with reviews that merchants write about the app, we don't offer any incentive. We only provide good customer service, and the reviews just follow.
Yeah.
So in many times, if you just provide a great experience, if you exceed the expectations of your clients, then they will do it for free and just happy to do it because they actually like you.
Yeah. Yeah, and because people naturally love to give recommendations. So again, guys, this is I would say the main point of what we have discussed today is the fact that your customers are willing to talk about you, and they're willing to even go one step further and take pictures of the product and share it and help you sell more, even if it's not by either by referring your product to their friends and family, or also to giving a good quality review, so you can attract more customers that are, well, in a sense, they're outside of their own personal network. So I think we're going to leave it here. Again, I left on the chat box both my email for details of the for ReferralCandy offer, and I left the referral link for Loox, so you can get 30 days for free on Loox. Guys, it has been a pleasure. Johnny, it's been a pleasure to be here. I've learned a lot. I hope that you guys have learned a lot as well. So again, Johnny, I'll see you next time. I'll see all of you next time, and thank you for your time. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.